Before I begin, please excuse my awful Halo gameplay. I apologize to any longtime Halo players out there. That is all. Anyway, the Xbox Series X, Microsoft's long-awaited next-generation console. Well, we could sit and talk about the very interesting PS5 logo or whether or not it will actually look like this. Microsoft has revealed much more about their next Xbox than Sony has about their next PlayStation. The console was officially revealed at the Game Awards 2019 back in December, and it definitely surprised people to say the least. I know I sure wasn't expecting a console reveal at the Game Awards of all places. Since the reveal, we have learned a little bit more about it. Firstly, let's address the elephant in the room, the design. When I first saw it, I was surprised just like everyone else. Some love the design, some hate it, and some are just indifferent about it. I personally like the design. I like it not necessarily because it's different, but because it looks like the design will allow for better airflow, which means potentially better performance in games. Some people say it's too big and it won't fit in their entertainment center, but I don't think that's going to be much of a problem because since you can set it horizontally, there are different ways to fit it. We also have promotional art showing the controller sitting up against the console, so it gives us a good sense of scale. Now it's time to address the second elephant, the name. I don't know how I feel about the name. On one hand, I can kind of see where Microsoft is coming from, and that they want to unify the Xbox brand and just have it be overall called Xbox and nothing else. There's a quote, the name we're carrying forward to the next generation is simply Xbox. And at the Game Awards, you saw the name come to life through the Xbox Series X. So it seems like you can imagine the naming scheme of Xbox consoles going forward to be akin to something like the Apple Watch naming scheme. So you might have the more powerful Xbox be called the Series X, while less powerful, more affordable Xbox might be called the Series X or something. Overall, I can get on board with the naming convention, but the thing that bothers me is that the Xbox Series X sounds a bit too similar to Xbox One X. And lastly, I want to talk about more recent news regarding exclusives on the Series X. So basically, the Series X actually won't have exclusives for at least the first year of its life because Microsoft doesn't want to segment their user base too much. All games that will be on Series X for at least the first year or so will also be available on the old Xbox One. Matt Booty from Microsoft had this to say. We want to make sure that if someone invests in Xbox between now and Series X, that they feel that they made a good investment and that we're committed to them with content. As our content comes out over the next year, 2 years, all of our games, sort of like PC, will play up and down the family of devices. So as you can see, the next Xbox is sort of blurring the line between what a PC is and what a console is when it comes to game availability, the way it works. No longer will you be forced to buy a new console just to play a new game. Now, of course, you will get the best experience on the most latest and greatest powerful hardware, but the Xbox One X should be able to handle most of these games coming out over the next year or two, despite the weaker CPU it has. Now, keep in mind that this rule only applies to first-party releases, meaning that third-party developers can decide whatever they want about this. Some third-party developers might decide just to release for the Xbox Series X, some might decide to release for the Xbox One for some reason, but I'm sure most of them will also release for both as well, because all they care about is how they can make the most money, and releasing cross-generation will probably be that way to get the most money. But before I end the video, I want to go over the new controller. There isn't a lot known about this new controller, so there isn't much to say, but Microsoft said, quote, the size and shape have been refined to accommodate an even wider range of people. Now there are three main noticeable changes. The new share button in the middle, okay, the PS4 also has a share button, nothing too crazy. The textured triggers you can barely see in the photo, and the redesigned D-pad, which looks a little bit more like the Xbox 360 D-pad, but I'm hoping it is as good as the Xbox One Elite controller, because we do not want another 360 D-pad, but I'm sure it won't be as bad as the 360 D-pad. I don't think that's anything you need to worry about. Also, before I go, I just want to mention one last thing. and that is the price. I think that the Xbox Series X will launch at $500, give or take, but I also think that there will be a Series S to be released later down the line, and it basically be a cheaper option, and I think that one will be around 400 or maybe even 350. I don't know. Let me know what you guys think down below. Anyway, thanks for watching.